From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Naira Ahmed. Today marks 36 years since 14 women were murdered at the Polytechnique Montreal Engineering School in a brazen anti-feminist attack. Prime Minister Mark Carney is at a ceremony in Montreal paying tribute to the women, where 15 beams of light will illuminate the night sky above Mount Royal for the 14 victims killed in the attack, along with an additional light for a second year in a row added for all victims of femicide. Today also marks a National Day of Remembrance and Action on Violence Against Women, also known as White Ribbon Day. The school president took part in a wreath-laying ceremony this morning, saying it's a time to remember the young women, their dreams, and what they ultimately wanted to do: become engineers. Also in Montreal, 62 Indigenous cultural artifacts from the Vatican have arrived at Pierre Elliott Trudeau International Airport, the latest stop on a journey that will see them ultimately return to their communities of origin as an act of furthering reconciliation. Canadian Identity and Culture Minister Mark Miller was in attendance and says there has to be an easier way to get more artifacts back going forward.
It shouldn't be this hard. It really shouldn't be this hard. I do want to salute the individual efforts of leadership in getting these items back. You heard Dwayne's personal testimony. I've talked to many chiefs and leaders that through their own personal efforts, sometimes when Canada is in the way, sometimes when other institutions were in the way, in getting these items back, and there's got to be a better way to do it.
Indigenous leaders have long called on the Vatican to repatriate Indigenous items in their collection and spoke with Pope Francis about it in Rome, where they met with him in 2022 to discuss the legacy of church-run residential schools. The artifacts will not be available for public viewing until the new year. The search for a grizzly bear that attacked a group of students and teachers in Bella Coola, BC last month has been called off. Conservation officers say none of the bears they have caught to date were responsible for the November 20th attack that seriously injured 3 students and 1 staff member. Officers say since bears have begun denning, officers are no longer actively trying to capture bears and equipment has been removed. And former Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and pop star Katy Perry are now Instagram official. After first igniting romantic rumors in July when they were spotted at Perry's Lifetimes tour and then dinner together in Montreal, Perry has now posted photos of the pair cheek to cheek in a photo dump of her tour stop in Japan. In the pictures, Trudeau has his arm wrapped around the singer's back and appears to be gazing lovingly at her as she takes a bite of sushi. Trudeau and Perry also made a lunch stop to visit a former Japanese prime minister, with a photo of the pair standing close together with beaming smiles. Perry ended a nearly 9-year relationship with actor Orlando Bloom earlier this year, and Trudeau separated from ex-wife Sophie in 2023. This is the Canadian Press. In sports, the Vancouver Whitecaps lost 3-1 to Lionel Messi's Inter Miami team in Florida for the Major League Soccer Cup. It's Inter Miami's first time winning the title, with 2 major assists from Messi to win the game. The Toronto Maple Leafs host the Montreal Canadiens in one of 12 games on the NHL schedule today. All 7 NHL teams will hit the ice, including another all-Canadian matchup between the Winnipeg Jets and Edmonton Oilers. Elsewhere, the Ottawa Senators host the St. Louis Blues, the Utah Mammoth are in Calgary, and the Vancouver Canucks welcome the Minnesota Wild. Germany, Belgium, and Croatia are among the teams set to play games in Canada at the 2026 World Cup. FIFA unveiled the full schedule of the 104-game tournament in Washington, D.C., including 7 games in Vancouver and 6 in Toronto. Canada opens play on June 12th in Toronto against a team from the European playoffs. Italy is one of the 4 teams involved. And Egyptian Canadians are excited for when Vancouver's BC Place hosts Egypt and New Zealand on June 21st. From the Canadian Press, I'm Naira Ahmed.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.